Alright guys, we got the news that Ankalaev and Alex Pereira is officially fighting at the main event for UFC 13. And guys, this is the fight we've been clamoring for, man. I've been personally saying that Alex Pereira has been ducking Ankalaev, and I've really been feeling for a long time that Ankalaev is going to go ahead and take care of business against Alex Pereira. And as time has been passing on, man, I'm starting to flip-flop on that idea, man. I really do think Alex Pereira is strategically making this fight happen at Ramadan. And guys, if you don't know much about Ramadan, I did a little slight research, not too much research about it. The main thing that I seen about this research that I was researching, in Ramadan, you have to fast from the start of the day all the way to sunset. And Ankalaev is a big boy that's walking around at heavyweight, probably around 245, not cutting weight. And you mean to tell me this dude can't eat throughout the whole day until sundown? Now, he could probably eat a little light meal here and there, but that's not enough for a big dude like Ankalaev. So Alex Pereira is real strategic for making this fight happen at Ramadan, and this plays in favor for Alex Pereira. We know for a fact that Ankalaev is not going to be that wrestle-dominant, heavy guy that we all think that he's able to be. He is going to start this fight by striking. And if Alex Pereira could easily tire out Ankalaev within the first 2-3 rounds, we don't have much data of him getting tired, I will say. But with him not eating, him not getting that nutrition, that can definitely play a role into this fight. So working the body will be key for Alex Pereira on easily beating Ankalaev, guys. Call me crazy. I know you guys are gonna do that in the comments, but just hear me out when I go ahead and keep breaking this down to you guys. Now, just think about it. Ramadan, you have to go ahead and pray about 5 times a day. There's nothing wrong with that. You can go ahead and pray 20 times a day. I wouldn't say there's a problem with that, but you have to get real deep in your prayers with those 5 prayers. So in the middle of training camp, during Ramadan, while Ankalaev is thinking about Alex Pereira, how Alex Pereira is going to do his entries, how Alex Pereira's leg kicks are going to play effect, is he going to have to pray in the middle of training camp? How does that work? Praying 5 times a day and really having a lock in on those prayers? Call me crazy, but that's going to play a role going into this fight against each other, man. This is a great move for Alex Pereira. You got to read the Quran, but I don't think that's going to play too much of a role. Reading the Quran is probably something you could do late at night before you go to sleep. But still, that's extra little slight energy that Ankalaev has to do towards this training camp. Now, one last thing I got to say about the whole Ramadan thing is that we know for sure Ankalaev is going to practice that religion. He is going to do it. There's no debating that. He is going to be all in. And one thing about Ramadan, you can't half in and half ass it. If you're in, you got to be in it. And that's what he's going to do. And if he doesn't do it and he misses a day of not performing his religion, he's going to feel like a shitty person. He might feel like Allah is going to go ahead and, give him bad luck, bad guru about it. I don't know too much about it, guys. I'm not going to act like what I'm saying is the defined way of how it's going to go. But that's a general idea on how I feel like this is going to go. Ankalaev is going to be doing it. He is going to be missing meals. He's not going to be getting his full nutrition. And that's the main thing that I'm looking at going into this fight. All the little things play a factor. Imagine the buildup of this fight. Ankalaev having to cut weight. Ankalaev at the press conference having to talk to the people. You might not hear much from Ankalaev at the press conference. Not like you do in the first place. But all those little things play a role. Now let's go ahead and think about how this fight can play out and why I'm looking at Alex Pereira. Now, we all say that Alex Pereira's leg kicks is going to be a non-factor because of the stance. One is the southpaw, one is the orthodox. I don't know which is which, but the stances are similar to where it cancels out on Alex Pereira legs kicks not being effective as much in this fight. I think he just simply goes to the body. I think if Alex Pereira kicks the body the same way he kicks the legs perfectly, that's another path to victory for Alex Pereira. We know his hands are heavy hitters. I don't have to talk about his hands, his punch power. Once Alex Pereira puts his hands on you, it's over. And the way I'm looking at this fight, I'm not looking at Ankalaev doing that American style of wrestling. I just don't see it happening. The only way Ankalaev can really inflict his grappling is by the clinch game and really using that Sambo style of wrestling where he is body to body with his opponent and he's taking his opponent through the clinch. If he's trying to take Alex Pereira down by a double leg or a single leg, I just don't think it's going to work. I think Alex Pereira is going to be well trained at that, and he is going to use that as a main preparation within his fight camp. So the only path to taking down Alex Pereira is literally through the clinch and grappling his ass and holding him down to the fence and tiring him out. That's the only path of wrestling of the wrestling factor that I'm giving Ankalaev. Now, one thing I can see for sure is why a lot of people is looking at Ankalaev at the minus 118. Because if you go ahead and look at his fight resume, this dude is a highly favored fighter in a lot of his fights. Coming in at a minus 305, 294, 290, 625, 476. He is highly favored in a lot of these fights. So looking at Ankalaev at a minus 118, it looks like it's a steal at free money. But if you guys go ahead and look at Alex Pereira's resume, he's coming in at the plus 100. And you see, he has literally been in these spots a lot of times, and he can cover in these spots. Adesanya is the only time where he did not cover at a plus money at an underdog. But if you go ahead and look at the thick of things against Sean Strickland, plus 114, plus 460 underdog against Adesanya, against Jan Blachowicz, underdog at plus 105, Yuri Prochazka, dead even money, Jamal Hill, dead even money, Yuri Prochazka again, dead even money. And then you have Khalil Roundtree at a minus 425. And in this spot again, he is at plus money. So looking at Alex Pereira in these spots, you can be comfortable to take them at plus money. So both these two dudes, you would like to take them at the spots they're at. And this is a highly favored fight to bet on, guys. I really love how this fight can play out. But looking at Alex Pereira at that plus 100 spot is a spot that I don't like much, just for the simple fact that I would love it to be at a plus 200. You know, I feel like the way they have these odds, it's too even. I feel like a lot of people will be putting heavy money on Ankalaev. So the fact that I'm getting Alex Pereira at only plus 100 sucks. But stylistically, this is the toughest fight for him. But I feel like he's ready for it, and he takes care of business. It's just something in that. I just can't give you a definitive reason. Ankalaev has all the tools. Does he have the grappling game better than Alex Pereira? Yes. Does the kicking game be better than Alex Pereira? No. But you look at him towards the boxing game, it could be dead even in that department. You look at the submission game, he has that over Alex Pereira. So it's a lot of things that Alex Pereira does not have over Ankalaev, which makes this a little bit scary for him. But this is why I feel like he's going to be more prepared. He is going to go ahead and take care of business. I just wish it wasn't at plus 100. That's all. Plus 200, take me up, sign me up all day. I will be betting the house on it. But at plus 100, you got to be wishy-washy on how you're going to bet this fight. This is not my official prediction, by the way. I don't want you guys to be like, oh yeah, I'm rolling with Alex Pereira. This is not my official prediction. This is how I'm feeling at the moment. This is how I'm thinking how this fight can play out. For crying out loud, I just researched about Ramadan literally 2 minutes ago before I recorded this video. So understanding what Ramadan was in a matter of 2 minutes before recording this video, all right, it had me a little bit mind fucked at the moment. So maybe that little mind switch can switch throughout the days, throughout the weeks and months. We don't know. But as of right now, this is how I'm feeling how this fight can play out. All in all, Shama. Another fight that got booked for UFC 313 was Justin Gaethje versus Dan Hooker, man. This is going to be a nightmare of a fight, man. Literally, this fight I will be thinking about in my sleep because I know the blood drawn, the gore that will be shown in this fight is going to be ridiculous, man. Justin Gaethje, the killer, the dude that took out Tony Ferguson's career. I didn't forgive him for that. But after taking a loss to Max Holloway, I feel like we're even. We're dead on truth with that. And then we have this dude, Dan Hooker, the dude that beat Matthias Gamrot. Never in a million years would I have thought that. Matthias Gamrot disappointed me that night. It hurt my heart that night. Dan Hooker spoiled me. He spoiled it for me that night. All in all, man, looking at this matchup, how this can play out, dog. Guys, I'm going to have to go with the reckless puncher, and that is Justin Gaethje, dog. Justin Gaethje for sure is. I just don't see him taking back-to-back losses. I just can't see that in a million years. Justin Gaethje in a stand-up war, back-to-back stand-up wars. He loses that. I just don't see that. Call me crazy. Now, is Justin Gaethje the underdog going into this fight? That's the real question. He's the favorite. I thought he would have been the underdog. That's a little bit surprising. Wow. So the odds have Justin Gaethje at minus 175. That was a little bit surprising there. I'm not going to much lie to you. I didn't think Justin Gaethje would be that highly favored. I feel like he would have. I think a better spot for him is coming as an underdog, because he did come off a knockout to Max Holloway, the dude that's in a division lower than him. So that's a little bit crazy how they have him at a minus 175. One thing I know for sure is that these books, the way they set these odds, are absolutely fucking ridiculous, and all of them should be fired and go ahead and kick rocks. Having Marab at plus 200, crazy. But that's another story for another day. Like, another thing I'm looking at, if you go ahead and look at that Justin Gaethje versus Rafael Fiziev fight, Justin Gaethje didn't come out guns blazing, just throwing heavy punches at Rafael Fiziev. Justin Gaethje worked his footwork, worked that leg kick, went ahead, threw some bombing punches when he got into that pocket, and that's what's that. If you go ahead and look at Dan Hooker, he's a sniper. When you get into those tight exchanges, he's going to go ahead and probably throw a knee in there. Go ahead and throw an uppercut in those tight exchanges. So when they clash, they're going to clash. But being it in a high duration fight where it's going to be non-stop clash, I just don't see that happening. Who's going to have the better moments in this fight is going to be the winner of this fight, is for shit sure. Who's going to have the better combinations? Who's going to work upstairs then try to go downstairs when you have someone on the fences? Who's going to go ahead and work the kicks? This is not a spot where Justin Gaethje has to worry about someone fast and someone difficult that's throwing spinning body kicks like freaking Max Holloway. This is a guy that's going to keep it simple and inflict his 1-2 shots and then occasional hooks with a leg kick, and that's Dan Hooker. You know, so this is going to be an interesting fight. And one last thing that makes this a very interesting factor is that this is a 5-round setting. This is not a 3-round bout. We are going to get a real war. I feel like this fight should have been in that Saudi Arabia card, but I will take this fight at 313. Having Alex Pereira and then Ankalaev, then the co-main event be Gaethje and Dustin and freaking Dan Hooker. Can't complain. All in all, guys, if you made it this far in the video, you already know the drill. I ain't got to tell you to roll to 500 subscribers. Like the video, subscribe. I'm out, motherfuckers.